are live on the internet on Twitch and YouTube. And I am George, and this is my best bud,
Jonathan. And of course, you guys know you can follow me on JWFBA on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, stuff like that.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's roll the intro. All right, and we have some topics to talk about today. I don't think I know we talked about this, and I know you said that we didn't talk about it, or we did talk about it, but I'm looking back at the article, and
No,
it doesn't look familiar at all. So I don't think we actually did,
I'm thinking we did.
but nothing says we can't retouch on it because it is it's still a wild thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And what it is a family is out $13,000 after their son makes a series of in-game Xbox purchases.
Good old Xbox purchases.
Like, wow. And here's the thing. And the article states that this happened over a 13th month, 13 months of multi-$100 charges. So, I mean, it's not like they just got whacked with this like all at once. It was over time.
Yeah, it was only about 8 months or a year or something like that.
Well, this says 13 months. So maybe this could
Okay,
be
a little over a year.
yeah. I mean, so you have a
So that's about $1,000 a month.
yeah, and it's like, don't they? I know. I know. Microsoft. If I go to the Windows store, you know, the Windows App Store, you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
and I buy something, it's going to send me a receipt. It's gonna email me back a receipt. Did they not?
I mean, every time when I had my PlayStation, every time I bought a purchase right in game, they sent right like a receipt like right to my email to let me know that I purchased something.
I mean, yeah, and you're having to. They initially they said they put like a low balance credit card attached to the Xbox. Well, obviously this wasn't low. Maybe this is low balance for them.
Well, the thing is, why would you put your credit card connected to like your kid's account anyway? That's just stupid. You're asking for trouble. You're asking for it.
Well, and not only
I don't have that much trust in anyone to put my information on their account. I mean, even when I do it for my own family, like my brother, like when I do it for him, I'll go ahead and I'll put my card on his account so he can get something. But as soon as he purchases something, I go in his credit account again, just take my card right off of there. Because it's not I don't trust him. It's just like just to have that factor in the back of your head that it nothing. You just can't get extra stuff. And you got to worry about being charged more.
well, in your brother's case, I would think that would be something he wouldn't do. But to the same token, he could go in and think he's got his in there and not double check
Yeah.
and buy something. Not
Yeah,
on,
like that. It's
not
not
on
like
purpose.
I don't trust him.
Well,
It's not like I don't trust my brother. Oh, it's just like anything can happen. Like
Yeah.
he could be like dozing off and then like accidentally hit a button or something and go into the store and I don't know accidentally end up buying something.
right. And if yours was, I'm assuming, but if yours was the last card used, that's probably the card it's going to try and charge.
most likely. So
Yeah.
I just take it off, so I don't have to worry about that.
And you love your brother, of course, but you're also not made of money. Like,
No,
who
man.
the
I mean,
fuck
they
is?
they probably was the kind of parents is that never checked their credit cards like statements to actually see what they bought. They probably was the type that as soon as they get their credit card statement, they see how much it is, they pay it, and then they move on.
Yeah, and that was one thing that they did state. But to the same token, if you're getting emails from Microsoft, what the heck did they do? Throw that into spam?
It's either they didn't connect their email to it. Most kids have emails on their own, so it's possible he could have had his email information in there, and all they did was just add their credit card information.
That's that's and you know what? As far as I know, from what the article said, they didn't. I think Microsoft did give them something, but it wasn't a full refund, and they don't deserve it.
I mean, last time I because I'm kind of familiar with the article because like I said, I'm not sure we touched on it, but I did hear about it. I think most of the purchase was for I think Fortnite, I believe it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Fortnite.
most purchase was for Fortnite.
They're probably buying the Millie dance. Just
Buying all that stuff everyone's getting sued for. Buying Fortnite in game stuff. I mean, just to have a dance or just to have different clothes or like different hammer or whatever. It's just that to me is just stupid. I mean, most some people like it. To me, it's just stupid. It doesn't give you any kind of um, edge or what's the other word to
advantage.
advantage in the game.
Well, and here's the thing too: if you buy something that's too overly gaudy, you'll a sniper will get you because you stand out like a big neon unicorn.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not like because as soon as you start the game, it's not like you have weapons. Like as soon as you land, you got to go and you start just like everyone else. You go and get the weapons. I mean, if you purchase like some kind of pack in like Call of Duty or something to get special skins and weapons and stuff like that, you have your weapons as soon as you start. I mean, you're paying for and you're actually like getting an edge or an advantage to actually use the stuff you actually get. In Fortnite case, it's just clothes or dances and stuff like that. It's something that's not really going to help you out at all.
And when I haven't played Fortnite lately, and I really should because I did enjoy it. But there's one part that when I jump out of the bus, there's one area I like to land in because it's not far from. I don't want to describe it because then everybody's gonna like go
Yeah,
over to my area. But it has like four treasure chests, so I try and land in that area so that I can get to those treasure chests and just empty them out, and then I'm fully loaded, ready
yeah,
for
yeah. That's fine. Once I get my rig, man, we get that thing going. We can play together. We can go ahead and stream it on Twitch.
that. That works for me. But there was one time, and it was funny. I got to third place, and the only reason, and it was actually I take that back. It was second place, and the reason I was in. There was just me and two other guys, and they evidently were friends because they were gunning for me. So I, because they're both coming, the same way towards me, and I kept running away. But something happened. I guess the guy was trying to snipe me or something, but he stopped. And you know how the storm comes in.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he got caught in the storm because he stopped, and I think he was trying to snipe at me, and I ended up number two.
Sweet. I think I only end up I think like number 8 or something like that was the lowest I ever got.
Yeah, that, well, that
Last time I played, and that was on like the Nintendo Switch. So
well, I'm sure none of the big boys uh, of Fortnite were gunning for me because I can guarantee I would have been number two.
no, no, none of the guys who always streams it dump all their life savings into it.
Oh, I mean, those guys, I mean, I give them props. I mean, they can play that game up, down, all around, 24
Yeah,
7. But to the same token, it's like, and if you see some of these guys in real life, it's like, dude, you have the perfect outfit, face, hair color, because of course, it's like neon green or something stupid. Sorry,
yeah,
but it's stupid. It's like you have the perfect look for radio. Like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I enjoy Fortnite to a certain extent. I don't go all out for it, and I used to kind of like it. Well, it's kind of like overrated now, and I'm not really good at building fast either. So I pretty much just play it just to shoot.
oh yeah, I've watched some of the. I've watched. And I don't remember his name on Twitch, but he's like, he'll build up this like skyscraper in like 30 seconds. It's like, do you have your keyboard configured with micros so that when you hit this key, it'll automatically put a straight edge in front of you or something? Because these guys are fast and they are
Yeah. Oh yeah.
blazingly fast. And they're not using, like when I play games, I like to use, this is a Logitech and it looks like a PlayStation 3 controller. It's what I'm used to, it's what I like using. And I think it plays like when I play Call of Duty. It plays exactly the same, just like I'm playing on a PlayStation.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll eventually get a controller as well. I use a mouse keyboard for like Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that because you got to use a lot of keys for certain mods and stuff you use. So it's the only reason I use it for that.
Yeah, but I love using this. If it's
You can use a controller for it too, but you still have to use the keyboard for certain mods and stuff you use.
yeah,
But so it makes it easier just using the keyboard.
oh
Somewhat.
excuse me.
Driving is terrible with a keyboard, but I'm working on it,
Yeah, I mean there's
getting better at it.
I mean if you watch these guys though, I mean they just wham bam thank you ma'am with that keyboard. And I would always thought, and this is just my thinking, that this is a lot more efficient than trying to, you know WASD. That's your movement, and your mouse is going left and right the way you're
Yeah.
looking.
Yep.
Where on a on the keyboard, on the keypad, this is your direction, up down, up down left right, and then this is where you're looking, is here. I would think this would be a lot more efficient, at least in my mind. The way I play, what I'm used to, this is what I works for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you gotta use whatever works for you. So
But
that's crazy, man. 13,000. Like
yeah, how do you?
I would have lost it. Um,
You wouldn't have children.
I don't know what I would have done if that was like me and I got my statement and it was like $13,000 for in-game purchases. I
I
don't know. I don't know what I would do to my kid.
I well, you probably wouldn't have either one, because you probably, before it hit $13,000, you probably would have killed them. You'd have taken them out of the. You would have taken it out of their hides per se, and this is metaphorically speaking, not
No,
literally.
they probably give him that nice little sit down pep talk and don't let it happen to Jen again, Jimmy.
Yeah, you'd be like,
No, no, screw that.
yeah. Not only am I taking the cord, but I'm also taking a sledgehammer to your Xbox.
I mean, you're going to do chores for the rest of your life, or till you turn 18, to make up that $13,000. I mean, if you get allowance, you can forget about it. You're not getting allowance until that 13 makes up on its own.
Yeah, their allowance is going to be is you're allowed to go outside. You're allowed to breathe the air that's in this house.
Yep.
You know, you're
As soon as you turn 16, you getting a job. If he wasn't like 16 yet, I think the kid was like,
13, I think. They're somewhere in
yeah.
that age bracket.
So 3 years, you're not getting no allowance, and as soon as you get a job, and that money's coming to me.
Yeah, just you might as well just deposit your paycheck right into your mom's and my checking account because
Yep.
you are not going to see a
And
penny of it.
as soon as you get soon as I get the 13,000 back, and I'll give you what I owe you for your allowance.
Yeah, and you are not going to. And this is you're not going to get reduced for good behavior.
Nope.
But yeah, that's that. When I read that, it was like, but to the same token, the parents have to be so. How do you not notice that your child is spending because the bill is coming every month and you're just paying it?
Yeah, probably. They probably have those good jobs where they're just constantly busy. They don't have any time to pay any mind to their kids. Just work, 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 work. Card statement. All right, just pay it, and I'm going to work. All right, boom, 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 pay it. Going to work. That's probably what kind of life they had. Go ahead and play the game. Well, I'm heading off to work. Have fun playing the game.
Well, when you get the statement and it's maxed out again, doesn't that put after the second or third time in a row? How does that not like a little light bulb above your head not go off to say, "Hey, there's an issue here"?
It's either they're too busy, or they're literally probably spending the same amount that they are used to, or something.
Either
Or
that.
they're used to seeing that amount like pop up. And they're like, oh, okay, just something I bought, like whatever. And they're probably the kind of people who don't like really care and keep track of what they're actually buying. So they're probably, oh, it's probably just something I bought. Let me just go ahead and pay it.
I'm sure you and I, that is one strictly a first world problem, and two, I really wish you and I had that problem.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I keep track of anything. Even if I did have that kind of money, I would still keep track of like what I'm spending and where it's going and stuff like that.
I mean, we are. I mean, even if you're a millionaire, I mean, I'm sure you do keep track of.
I mean, if I was a million, I would still keep track. Even if I have an accountant and they supposed to keep track for me, I'm still gonna go in my own account and keep track as well.
Oh, well, the old saying is trust but verify.
Yep.
Yep.
Because accountants, you know how many people hired accountants, then next you know the accountants like quit and then they left like with some of their money as well. Like, nah, man, screw that. I'm checking, see where my money going because they be putting small like payments and stuff in like a separate account, and that's how they end up getting away with like when they quit. That's how they end up getting away with a bunch of money.
Yeah, that's how they end up stealing your money.
Yep.
Now I'm watching YouTube, and I know I. Oh no, that is chat. Never mind. I was just gonna say I can't see if anybody's saying anything, but yeah, I never mind. I'm looking right at it.
Uh, Anyone in there?
No, nobody said anything.
Is there
I'm
anyone?
not on the viewer page.
Oh,
I'm on a different page. Viewer
oh,
page wasn't the dashboard page wasn't. I landed at the wrong page. I just landed on the streaming page. So as long as I can see that we're
yeah,
streaming and everything's working, and I can see the chat, that's fine. There's
yeah, yeah.
one.
You guys can speak if there's anyone watching. You guys can talk. We want to hear from you. Like every topic we talk about, we love your intake on it. Just talk. We ain't no dogs who's gonna snap at you or anything. You're not gonna interrupt us or anything like that. Just open up. We want to hear from you.
Feel absolutely free. How deeply you feel that Jonathan is full of crap.
Oh God, shut up.
Just
But guys, kick your feet up, relax, grab a snack, and just talk. That's all pretty much what we're doing.
yeah. We can move on to number two if you're ready.
Yeah, I guess so.
We got Ajit Pai. You know who this moron is.
Who's that?
Ajit Pai. Pai. You know who he is?
No, I don't think so.
He's the new chairman of the FCC, Federal Communications Commission.
I don't follow that crap. So
Well,
what about him?
he's the one that took away, uh, or is has taken away net neutrality.
Hmm.
All right. So this guy now he's actually going to do his job. Ajit Pai orders phone companies to adopt new anti-robocall tech by this year.
Robocall. Is that
Yeah,
supposed to stop robocalling?
yeah, that's what he wants. And
Doesn't want that.
huh?
Doesn't want that. Who doesn't want no shit? No, robos to stop calling you.
Yeah, but for how long has this been going on?
Forever. And I'm pretty sure if it does happen, it's not gonna last long.
Well, that's the thing is it has been going. Yeah, it has been going on for quite some time now. And now he's saying, "Oh, it's a problem. How much you want to bet the scammers and the spammers and all that crap happen to catch his phone number now, and that's why he's calling for them to, if you guys don't do something about this, we're going to start. We're going to force you to do it."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
actually, in the article, that's what's happened. Actually, is it's oh, it's not. He's one of the first ones that, and this is what irks me. Oh, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. And then it happens to him. It's a problem. Oh my gosh, it's a problem. It, his
It's funny. It's funny how uh like someone's always saying something and then they don't want to jump on it, and then as soon as it happens to them, all of a sudden they want to take action.
Yeah, it's like we've been complaining about this for years. I've been getting, and I don't have so much a real phone. I have an internet phone. I have an app, and if I'm not in internet, it doesn't work. And a lot of times it doesn't work even when I am in Wi-Fi. But the point of it is I get them on this, and this is like an internet phone, and I get them on this. Like a call I'm waiting on, may or may not come through, but those spammers, well,
Oh yeah.
they seem to come through just fine.
Oh yeah, all the time, man. Everyone gets those. Then I hate the ones that leave a voice message, which is really not a voice message, just them like talking, the robots talking. I'm like, oh man, here we go. Like I don't, I'm thinking it's important. I'll check my messages. The next thing I hear this recording in the background. I'm like, oh god, delete.
And well, here it was like, yeah, it was last year, just after, uh, just after tax time, I got a phone call from the Philippines or India or wherever. Hello, my name is blah blah blah, and I am with the IRS. You owe us money, and we are going to send the cops over to where you're at if you don't make arrangements and pay us now. I'm like,
Wow.
dude, no. First of all, no. And I just told him. I says, you know what? I have the IRS's number here because I happen to be here and at home, and I pulled up their website. I said, "What's your extension?" Because I'll call you right back because I don't believe you are who you say you are. Oh no no no! You can't do that. I don't have an extension. I said, then you're not with the IRS because if you're with the IRS, there's somebody that is handling your case, and you get an extension, and they all have extensions.
Yeah. And IRS wouldn't call you. A lot of times they will send you a
Yeah,
letter
yeah. Well,
for you to call them.
that was the thing. I finally did hang up from him. I said, "Don't worry, I'll figure this out, and I'm gonna call the IRS. I'm gonna make sure that this gets settled. You have a good day." I just hung up, and the last thing
Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard
That happens
was,
every year, man. They love it.
"Oh yeah, oh there's something." I
Seems to-
think the last word he said was "cops" or something. It was like, and so I did call the IRS. I did call them. That was the very next call I made. I just called them and I asked. I mean, and it's they. You just verified. I mean, what they told me is what you just stated, is the IRS will not call you. Now, if there is some sort of extenuating circumstances, like I couldn't imagine what that could be, but I'm guessing like a disability of some sort or other, they still will not call you just out of the blue.
No, they'll send you a letter.
Exactly. They will send you a letter, they will make arrangements ahead of time with you, and then they before they will ever call you. But unless there is an extenuating circumstance, they are the lady told me flat out, it's just we are not going to call you, period, unless there is a and it has to be a big time extenuating circumstance before
Yeah,
we will call you.
and that's the reason they don't call people because of these scammers. And if they did call and then like someone like that's scamming you and they say, "Oh, they work the IRS," you probably believe it. You probably like, "Oh, okay, okay, oh, darn, all right. Well, here's my credit card information," and they get millions of dollars every year. That's how good they are because a lot of people don't know that the IRS won't call you. And they get the elderly. They get people who it's probably their first time filing taxes or anything. They make millions off of it, and it's messed up.
Well, another thing that the lady did verify to me, and this is not racist, but she flat out told me, she says, nobody, if we do call you, they're not going to be from any nation other than the United States. She's, they may have a New York, or like a Brooklyn accent. They may have a Southern accent, but they are calling you from the United States, and they will speak English.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine, man. Like I feel bad for all the people who get scammed, and the bad thing is, it's not like they just take your credit card information, use it, and then that's it. They take it, use it, sell it to the next person.
We got a comment from a person on YouTube. She says, "Get it together, George." What am I? What?
Who's the person's name?
She hurt my feelings.
Who is it?
Linda.
Oh, Linda. Hey, Linda, how you doing?
She's telling me to get it together. I thought I had it.
Hope everything's going all right.
Oh, well, you heard what happened to
Yeah.
her. Yeah,
Yeah. You told me.
yeah. I told her. Oh, she says that was earlier. Well, okay. I don't know which. I looked earlier. It's hard to She says, "Hey guys." So hey. Uh, I told her that she told me that her computer, she doesn't think it got wet on the inside. She said there's smoke damage to it. I told her, when you're ready, just we'll make arrangements and I will take care of it. Um, or you and I could both take care of it. That's fine
Yeah,
too.
we can do that.
You know,
Yeah.
and then
Uh,
one way or the other, she's going to. I'm either going to fix. I am, or we are. Either one of two things is going to happen. It's going to fix that thing, or she's getting either that one or this one. That's what's going to happen.
yeah, and I have the one you gave me, and once I get my other one, the only thing I'm pretty much I want from it is the hard drive, and we can salvage parts from this one as well if we need to.
Yeah, this either it would all be perfect, great for her for what she wants to do. But
And if she does get this one, I'll order a case, and we can go ahead and throw this graphics card in there, and she can have something a little bit more better.
yeah, she could.
The graphics card still works
Yeah,
great.
we could. We're gonna have to go halvesies on a case because
Yeah. We can do that.
that case is
Oh yeah, this kid's got to go. I mean,
it's old.
yeah, it is. It's super old. It's ancient.
Yeah, it's ancient. It
But wherever it
needs.
is, we got you, Linda. We got you.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. TYVM. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, it takes me a second to figure out what these young people and their new acronyms that they use
Yeah, man,
for.
you gotta get up on it.
What did you tell me the other day? And I'm like, what was it? S
Oh,
SMH.
SMH. Yeah, shaking my head. Yeah.
I'm thinking. I'm thinking to myself, what is it? Some sort of like protocol? Like we have HTTP.
It's just
There's
short. Just short.
SMS. There's. I'm thinking, what are you talking about?
Shorthanded, so you don't have to write shaking my head all the way out. It's just shorthanded. I mean, there's other things I could send you, but I was like, nah, I ain't gonna know what it is because next thing you know, I'm gonna get a text and say what, and then nah, I rather some things I won't do.
Oh, what? Because I'm white?
No,
I won't
because,
know because I'm white. Oh, it's because I'm old.
probably because you're old.
Oh,
You
oh, oh, man.
need to get up
Oh,
on it. You need to get up on it on the texting.
oh, my ticker. Oh, that hurt. Oh, jeez. Thanks for sugarcoating that for me.
I'm sorry, man.
No, you're
Just
not.
being honest. Just being honest.
No, you're not. You just.
I mean, that's like I don't text my grandfather. I gotta call my grandfather. And it's funny because my grandfather be like, "Oh, we gonna send me some pictures." I'm like, "Come on, man. You know you're not gonna be able to know how to check these pictures if I send them."
You could send them and then you can call them and then you're gonna have to tell them how to view them.
No, I do not work for AT&T call center anymore. I am done with that. I had the worst experience working at a call center. Worked for AT&T, explaining to a 90-year-old lady how to use her iPhone,
Oh my God.
and it was the crazy experience ever. And it was messed up because I had we work at a call center, and to make sure they actually have the phone that you're ready to get into, you have to send them a verification text, and then they read you off the code, and then
God.
type it in and stuff like that. So I sent her the code, and I was like, all right, just go ahead and hit the get into your messages, give me the number you see, and I can get into your account. This was like, where are my messages at? Well, you don't know where your messages are?
Oh God.
Like, I don't see it. I was like, you get nothing that popped up. You just scroll the screen down, push it, and take it right to it. No, nothing came up. I was like, all right, I'm gonna send it again. Send it again. She's like, I didn't get it yet. I was like, it says it's sent. I was like, just the little green bubble, push that. And it's like, I don't see the messages bubble. I don't know where it is. Like, oh God, oh.
How about you want to bet she was looking at the remote control for her TV?
I have no idea. I was like, oh man, my first call, really, on my first day, why? And I'm sitting here like, oh. And I'm like, no, scroll to the right, look down. Do you see it now? What did it look like? It has a little bubble, says messages. I don't know what I'm looking at. I was like, oh man, it literally took me probably 20 minutes for her to actually find it and give me the 4-digit code, just a pin number is all I wanted.
Let me guess, on your end, it timed out and told you had to send her another message.
No, but when they reviewed my call,
Oh,
they
yeah.
they got mad at me. It was like, oh, you got to speed up the process. I was like, well, what you want me to do? No, just hang up on her and just tell her no. And the thing is, like, they had us in the wrong queue because I was doing international tech support. So we was only supposed to get calls for cruise ships from overseas or Mexico, for anyone or someone who's overseas already, and they need an international plan for their phone. That's what we were supposed to got. And we was in the regular queue for regular customer service. And that's what ended up happening. And I ended up getting like this 90-year-old lady for my first call. And it was terrible. Terrible, terrible. For one, stop. Please, people, stop getting your grandparents, if they're not for, trying to get up to date with the technology, don't force it on them, please, because they're going to call customer service, and if someone's poor young person or older person is going to have to go through that. That's it's not good, and it makes the older person look like they're stupid. It's new technology. And I know a lot of people want to get their parents and grandparents involved with the new stuff. But if they're not open for it and they're not open minded, at least try it. Then don't force it.
Yeah.
Even if if they open for it and you get it for them, show them how to operate it. Don't just get it for them and think they're gonna be, okay. Oh, here you go. You do this, make a phone call, and that's it. Don't show them that, because sometimes they're gonna have to call and they're gonna have to access their messages and stuff like that. Just sit down with them. It's not gonna kill you to take 5 minutes to explain how to get to the important stuff. Even if they don't know how to get to the internet, explain to them how to get to their phone calls, their messages, and or at least try to get them an email, at least, because a lot of times they verify through email. Help them out. You ain't got to go to the full thing. You don't have to say, oh, okay, I'm gonna download these what's those, that game a lot of old people like playing, solitary for you. I'm gonna download some solitary
Yeah. Don't.
and put on your phone
Don't.
and all that. No, help them out.
Yeah.
I mean, if I did it for my parents, I mean, when my mom first got in to like the higher technology, when everything advanced, uh, I helped her out when she needed it. Now she's sometimes better at me at it. Because I get frustrated and I really don't want to look for stuff.
When if your mom called, did you answer the phone? Oh, it's mom. You answer the phone. Hello, this is AT&T technical support. How can I help you, Mrs. Williams?
That's hilarious. And my mom would know of me, so I can't really get past it. And one of these days, we're going to have a number for you guys to call and access some questions and stuff like that.
Oh, that
now
can't go wrong.
we'll get there.
Yeah. Well, we'll do that, but that can't go wrong. Yeah, but that's something. That's a very good idea. That's something we could do. But I'm going to tell you that scenario that you said about the phone. I will go back, and if the gray hairs don't date me, I don't know what will. But I don't know if you remember the Commodore 64 computer.
I think I do.
Okay. Do you remember it had an external power supply that they called it a brick?
Yeah.
Because it was about as big as a brick and about as weighed as much as a brick, and it just had the one end you plug in the computer, the other end you plugged into the outlet.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember those.
Well,
The heavy things.
when I worked at a computer store that was at the mall, we sold Commodore computers, and it was like a couple days um, after Christmas, and I got this phone call from this person that thought that the computer, and this is a Commodore 64, and this is before laptops were something that you would be comfortable putting on your lap.
Yeah, that was the one with the green screen, right? The Commodore 64.
No, that was actually the PET. That was actually long before the 64. The 64, you just plugged it into your TV.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. No, okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. But this guy called me and was going on and on about how the computer wasn't working. Well, I did the beginner's guide, which was, you know, did you plug it in?
Did you power it off?
No, not even that. Did you?
I know that's nowadays. Did you power it off and on?
No, I at that time, and that was the thing, was computers a lot more prevalent now that you could say, did you turn it off and on, and people get it. Back then,
I think I did try that.
yeah, back then, I mean, it's not wireless, and why computers aren't wireless now in the way they get their energy. You need to plug them into something. Well, the guy thought literally that the power brick, and it was a brick because it was big and heavy, was a free paperweight. And I'm not kidding. That's what he thought it was.
A free paperweight.
Yeah.
And
No.
I thought I heard it all.
Yeah. No. Oh no. Now you will hear it all. The same Commodore store. We would sell games, and when people bought the games, if they wanted to return them, they said they weren't working. We wouldn't just exchange them. We had working computers that we would uh, turn the computer off, put the, open up the package, put the disk in, close it, boot the system, load in the game, and make sure that it was truly a defective software. Because if it worked, because what, and back then, piracy was beginning to be a problem. And what people would do was, buy a game, go home, make a copy of it, return the original game. Okay, so they would just say it doesn't work. I want to get something else. Well, no, we're going to make sure that this game works because it wasn't like PCs like they are now. All Commodore 64 computers were pretty much Commodore 64 computers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There
yeah, I
was
know.
really no variation much from that. So, kid came in, said, I bought this game and I forget what the name of the game was, and it's not working. So, okay, put it in a computer, powered it off and on, loaded up the game, and it starts running through the demo. And while I was getting all that, the kid happened to walk out of the store, which was fine. I mean, he just walked out to his parents, which are sitting at the place in the middle of the aisleway in the mall. And so I told the kid, hey, come here, it's working. So as soon as he walked into the door, it locked up.
Wow.
Yeah. So I said, let me reboot this and do this again. So I did, and he walked away. And this time I waited till it was past the point where I had called him for the demo.
Hmm.
And as soon as he walked in the door, it locked up. It was his braces. Is the nearest thing that I could say, because at the time, the Commodore hard drives were literally their own device. You could actually take two Commodore disk drives, connect them to a computer. There was a program for disk copying, which you would run the program and it would say, okay, the drives are ready. You would unplug the drives from the computer and you would put two disks in, put the source in the top, put the destination on the bottom, and it would copy source to
Yeah.
destination. When that was done, you open up the drives, take them out, do it again. And this is independent of the computer. There's no computer at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't do that nowadays.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. His braces was causing all of that. His computer lock up.
What we figured it was his something in the frequency of his braces, because he's got metal in his mouth that is resonating a frequency because it's metal, and that was interfering with the communication from the disk drive to the computer. And since I duplicated it twice, I said,
Yeah.
just, you want your money back, you want another game, yeah, that's fine.
That'd have been the last thing I ever thought of would be my braces that's causing the problem.
What was the hint was when he came in and then he locked up. And then when I let it go past and then called him over, now we're further in, so we're past the original point, and then it happened again, and he just happened to put some sort of facial expression that I saw his mouth and I saw the braces, and I'm like, I'm betting it's got to be your braces.
Wow.
And
That's crazy.
he got into the game. I tested it, put it in the system. I told him, I says, you're not going anywhere. You're staying right here. And it booted up just fine. And it's like, okay, cool. It's a game I want. So I went ahead and exchanged it for him. But
Sweet.
that was that
How
was
much?
like, yeah. What's the chances of that happening? But it did happen.
I mean, nowadays, no. There's, I can't really see that happening nowadays. Unless they got like some kind of thing on their phone that's causing everything to lock up. That can happen.
Right. Well, things are much better shielded nowadays than where they were back then too. I
Yeah. Now, no. If they're something's going on with your computer when someone walks in the store, like most likely they're hacking it.
Right. Uh, well, I don't know if you remember, but I'm sure Linda might. So I'm going to drag her back into this. She's probably like, "Who heard my name again?" Uh, when you would plug in a vacuum cleaner to vacuum, and it would absolutely interfere with every channel on your TV.
Oh yes, I remember that. I remember that.
Oh God.
Oh man, I was a kid, and I totally remember that when we had those. I had to use. I was always poor. I had to use pliers to turn the channel, and a lot of people probably like, hold on, you look like super young, but like when I grew up, in the '90s, like these things were pretty much at the end of their phase. Like they were starting to jump to the new phase of the television, and some people still have the crank television. So we didn't have a knob. I don't know. I can't remember what ever happened to it, but we had a pair of pliers, and every time we will have to change the channel 3 to play the game, and we had the the NES, the Super Nintendo, which I
Mhm.
call original Nintendo. And if people don't know what NES means, I'm sure you do if you're in the games. If you're young and you probably never ever seen one, NES, Super Nintendo is pretty much like one of the first gaming generations for everything, and it's still popular now.
Yeah.
A lot of people still want it and they love it. It was a great platform. But NES, Super Nintendo is like the first Nintendo ever. Nintendo was their first time, jumping out there, and that was the era when Sega came out and they pretty much like died. But you guys probably don't know what Sega is because they're no longer around. But anyway, um, I will hate because they would change the channel to we only had about a handful of channels, like 5, 6, maybe 7 channels. I can't remember. But if you wanted to play your game after your parents or your grandparents got done watching TV, if you didn't have a knob, which we didn't, you got to get some pliers. And you go to the TV. And first, we was poor. Like I said, the knob. It's not like nowadays. The numbers and stuff are outside the actual like knob or button with some things. The knob had the numbers and everything on it, so you had no idea. Once that knob was going, you had no idea what channel it was on until you went over there and you literally sat there and with pliers and cranked through every single channel until something popped up, and then your game was on.
Yep. I remember that.
And it
Oh
was,
yeah.
and then every time we plugged the vacuum in, like the TV will freak out,
Yeah.
and it was insane, man. It was. I don't miss that. I really don't miss using pliers to turn the TV.
But yeah. It well, I will say this, and I know I don't think you ever had this problem, and because they had knobs on TVs for quite some time, even when they went to solid state.
Yeah.
But I remember turning on my TV and waiting. When you turned the TV on, it didn't come on right away. It literally had to warm up, and there was literally a glow behind the TV. And they got hot, and they got real hot because everything was literal. It wasn't just that the TV was a tube; it was that everything on the inside were individual tubes as well. Yeah,
I don't think we had that.
yeah. Well, I remembered that, so I
And my
got.
grandpa probably remember that
Shut up.
stuff.
Your dad probably, your grandfather.
Yeah, my dad probably does remember it.
Yeah. Thank you. At least you give me that it's your dad and your grandpa. I mean, I with all due respect to your grandfather, I'm sure he's a lovely person.
Oh, he's great.
But to the same token, don't make me in his ballpark.
I mean, you're not far
I'm
off.
joking. Come on,
Only
laugh.
about maybe 10, 20 year difference.
Between
You and my my grandfather.
I'm
Uh,
thinking I'm thinking of a finger, and it doesn't mean you're number one.
it's about the same amount of years difference as we are. So that's pretty bad. I'm sorry, George.
No, you're not. So
My grandfather. That means my grandfather is still like he's a young guy. He's in his prime. He's like 70 something. So
okay, he's 18 years older than me, so thank you for that.
okay, yeah, I was spot on. I said like 10 to 20 years. Boom. Good with my math today. My dad, my dad's like, what is my dad? I think he's about to be 60.
Do you hear this? Do you want me to turn it down for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's
That
the
makes you feel better.
opposite of the usual thing I would tell you when I would say that.
Yeah, you don't want to no turn your wrist too fast. Might hurt your all. Might crack something.
Crack the back of your head.
That's fine.
I
Maybe
hope
I'll wake up.
I Jonathan's mom, if you're watching, because you were watching a couple shows ago, so hopefully you're watching. It was great to meet you. Will you please do something about your son? Please.
Nope.
I don't want to go to jail again.
Shut up. You ain't going to jail.
Why? Because I'm white? You saying
Yep.
because I'm white? I won't?
No.
No,
You're
no.
too old for jail.
You just you are spot on tonight.
Hey man, you're the one you set yourself up.
Yeah, but usually when I open that door, usually go, huh? And I go, whack. It's usually
Well,
me
yeah,
doing that. Not tonight.
yeah.
It's all you.
I'm spot on.
Okay.
It's not even our main like show, and I'm spot on.
Yeah, and we will still be streaming tomorrow. Jonathan and I, what was it last night? You said you asked me about doing a show today, so I'm thinking. So I asked you back something to the question of, you want to do a show tomorrow instead of Thursday, or you want to do two shows?
No, we're doing two.
And I'm like, and you said doing two, and I'm like, that's good. That's perfect. I would love to do two. I would rather do two than just do one Wednesday and nothing Thursday. But I mean, if
Yeah.
you have something
So,
going on, you have something going on. Life happens. I get it, and it's
yeah,
all
if I had something
good.
going, I would let you know. But I'm kind of bored, so
So I mean, I was when you asked me if we could do a show tonight, I'm like, I'm in for that. And I was hoping that, and that's why I asked you, is there something going on? And then you said you wanted to spend time with your wife. And I'm like, well, if you're going to be hanging out Wednesday and Thursday with me, how does that hanging out with your wife? And that's why I said back to you, I said, confused.
I was like, no, we're hanging out right now, and
Yeah,
we can do it
that's because I was
Wednesday.
meaning that maybe you had something on Thursday that you were going to be busy. And then you straightened
Might
that
end up
all
doing
out, but I was
I
like
might end up doing a
confused.
rant on Sunday. I might get bored. Like, what? Let's do one Sunday. Never know.
Oh, well, that rant was, I mean, what they did to you, that's just
Yeah, I'm
not
gonna make
called for.
a personal video pretty soon about it. Um,
That was just not called
fairly
for.
soon. I think I'm gonna wait until I get my rig. That way I can add my own little effects and stuff into it.
Oh,
And
we're going to have fun making that thing.
oh yeah, and then yeah, because it's not right and whatever. It is what it is.
And we're going to touch on one more story. This is something I've wanted to touch on uh, between you and I, on the show here, and that is from USA Today. This is this is one example. California man pleads guilty after quote unquote swatting call led to Kansas man's death. What it is like you and I are doing this,
Yeah.
all right, and there's not too many. I mean, there's a few people that know that we're doing this. So, but you get somebody nefarious that comes into the chat, sees our channel, and happens to be able to know, does some digging and finds out where, like I live or where you live. Like for example, how big Linus Tech Tips is as far as in the YouTube platform.
Yeah.
He's got like 8.2 or 7.2. It's in the millions of subscribers, and he'll be like live streaming like what we're doing. And then what somebody will do is log into a VPN, virtual private network, and make a phone call and send say that at this address, there's somebody shot somebody, and and somebody has a gun, and somebody's dead and threatening to shoot somebody else, and the SWAT team, and that's why it's called swatting, has to do something. They are not going. They are going to go now and ask questions later.
Yeah.
But what happened was this 25-year-old, I'll say, person did that to somebody they were playing Call of Duty with. And
Oh.
and the other person was winning, they were losing, they were getting their hat handed to them. So the guy in California calls the police on this guy in Kansas, and the police go to that guy's home, and they end up shooting him.
Wow.
And it's been happening on YouTube where, like, we're doing this show, and all of a sudden, just like at my door, there'll be a knock at the door, and it's literally the police. And I mean the SWAT team that, hey, we got a report that you shot someone, or this or that. And it's like, that's not cute. And, people think this is,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
and the effed up thing is people think this is cute. This is a prank, because generally they don't. If the SWAT team was knocking on the door, I'm not going to pause this. I'm going to, it's going to keep going.
Yeah.
So they're sitting at their desk and just laughing at this guy getting swatted. Well, this guy died. All right.
That's
Yeah. This guy died over this crap.
Yeah, that's why I don't play Call of Duty anymore. Because of dumb kids.
Well,
And because of the racist slurs and everything, they just get too out of hand on there for me. And I don't need my kids to be hearing all that stuff, man.
well, here's the thing with this is, yeah, this was a game, but I've even seen, people who were live streaming that this has happened to, just like what we're doing.
Yeah.
And, like I say, these people think this is all cute and it's funny. Ha ha ha. This, first of all, the SWAT team, you disrupted their lives. Okay. You disrupted, as long as I'm alive, it's inconvenient, whatever. But, what? That's not a prank. It's not a joke. It may be funny to you, but you're a sorry, sad, sick little person.
You are. You are. And that is wrong for you to do. For anyone to do. I mean, if you play in the game and it's online, and I don't, we all go through it. We all win, we all lose. If you're an online gamer, you win and you lose. If you always win, you will never learn to accept or how to deal with a loss. And a loss actually helps you get better, and it makes you more determined, and you actually, achieve whatever you're trying to do. That's
Right.
pretty much just in life in general.
Right.
But if you're going to play a game online and you're not that good at it, stop playing. Just stop playing. It's not hard to do. Put the controller down, keyboard down, or switch the game out.
Yeah.
Do something you know how to play. Play something else. If you're not good at it and you're tired of losing or whatever, no, get off, or no, play another time, or start a private session. Play with some of your friends. No, you don't have to play, with strangers. They have their own private sessions in most Call of Duty games, in any games, where you can set up, your own little map that you can play with your friends.
Yep.
Do that if you're more comfortable with that. But don't sit there and you jump online and you sitting there playing, and you're playing against someone who's better than you, and you get mad, and you want to do a so-called prank. I'm pretty sure you probably didn't know they was gonna go there and shoot the guy, but now you have to live with this is your fault. That you got this poor person killed for nothing. So now you have to live with that. I mean,
Right.
maybe they're a heartless person who probably can just shove it off. But me, I would feel like terrible, if I was that kind of person. And knowing how I am, we all have no moments when we get pissed off playing a certain game, um, and we all have that. We have it. It happens. But I ain't never got to that point where someone was better than me, and I wanted to sit there and I'm gonna call the cops on them or and say
That's
they're
just
doing this,
ridiculous.
doing that. I never got to that point. I mean, I got to a point where I was like really mad because like dealing on Call of Duty, I deal with people who know racist slur and talking about your mom and stuff like that. Um, when Call of Duty first came out and online was just somewhat getting up there, it was something you really didn't want to tolerate. You're like, hold on, like what would you say? And like, yeah, you got pissed off. But
Yeah.
now it's you expect it, so you just shove it off.
Yeah.
So if you're not used to how it is now, and I'm thinking this kid who did call on is probably like super young, because if you're
No.
not experienced with it how it is now,
The one kid, the kid that played, the guy that pled guilty is 25 years old. The guy that's dead from Kansas was only 28.
wow. So you
Yeah.
you either got a problem
Yep.
with losing, and you probably went through probably planned the campaign or whatever, and you was like, no what, I'm good. I've never lost. I never died. I'm jumping online now. I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No.
you
It's
didn't know how to
stupid.
accept the loss.
Yeah.
You need help, man. You just need help. If you know you can't accept the loss, don't play any online games because there's always gonna be someone better than you. Just get help. There are people out there who never lost, and when they do, they do go through a depression state.
Yeah.
Like Ronda Rousey. She was on the top of her prime in the UFC. She was number one. They sit there and put her on a pedestal high as they can. She never lost
Just high enough to look up her
until
dress.
until the day she did lose,
Yeah.
and she went into a depression state. She wanted to commit suicide and was talking crazy and everything. But she did the right way and got help.
Yeah.
She got help. Um, she went there. She talked to a therapist or whatever, and she got help. Now she's a lot more successful. And yeah, she did try to make a comeback, ended up losing again. But when she made a comeback and she lost on her comeback, she didn't sit there and say, what, I'm done with this. I'm gonna commit suicide and everything. That's it. I'm finally doing it. No, she's just like, what? Maybe this is not for me anymore, and she pursued something else.
Yeah.
So just gotta move, man. Just gotta keep moving. If you're not good at something, or if you was good at something, you have someone better because it happens. Just move on and just move on to something else that no one is that good at. You can dominate. Go there and do it, or deal with it and keep fighting. Brush it off, keep going.
Learn from it. Treat
Yeah,
it
you
like a
learn
learning experience. I mean,
learn from your
it was
loss.
going to happen
Just
sooner or later.
Yeah, it's like life in general, man. Like you get a job, you get fired from your job or whatever for a mistake or anything. Do you just say, what, I'm done, I'm not working ever again,
Hmm.
and just live in your parents' basement for the rest of your life, or do you just like shove it off and look for another job?
Well, in this day and age, you never know. That's probably what they're doing is living. Well, there was that guy who was 30 years old. How old?
Oh yeah,
You remember
yeah.
that?
Remember
He
that story? Yeah,
30 years old sues his parents because they evicted him. You're a grown man.
he was like 36, 38, between like 35 and 38. I mean, he was up there.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, he wasn't like in his 20s or anything. Like he was up
yeah,
there. That I remember that story, and I was like, wow, really? I was like, come on, man. I can understand. I can understand you getting kicked out and you're mad about it. Okay, fine. But then you take the next step and then you want to sue your parents.
I mean you're a 30 plus year old man. It
But
was
now the thing is, he got a decent job from it now. Now he does have a job, and now he got offers from I really don't want to say what he got an offer from, but he got offer from a adult company. So
porn company
yeah,
to do
yeah.
what? Movies
I don't know. I think just
from
sit
his
there on
parents'
camera.
basement.
He got an offer from them though. I can't remember
Go
which one.
figure. Go figure. The
I
porn
think
industry would.
I think it was Cam Soda. If I'm not, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I think it was Cam Soda that offered him a job, and it was just hilarious because he made his big stir. He went from like suing his parents and not getting any money to getting an offer from a major porn company to hopefully he didn't turn down. Now hopefully he is making money now. But hey, man, crazy things can happen out of anywhere. Some of us ain't that lucky. I mean, when we get kicked out, we get kicked out. We don't make the news. But
Well,
nowadays, I guess anything can make the news. Hopefully something happens, I make the news, and I get a nice offer.
well, hopefully you make the news in a way that you're not like this.
Oh yeah, not like that. But that I get an offer from a company or something like that to work or whatever, and they have paid or sponsor me, whatever. I don't care. Now, whatever it is, as long as it ain't something crazy, I'm all for it.
Oh, you said something earlier about hacking.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that leads to our final story of the day, of the evening, and that is a popular electric scooter can be hacked to speed up or stop.
It can or can't.
Can.
Well, that's not that bad, unless someone is like, if you're doing it for self purpose, then that's not
No.
a problem at all. But if someone's like doing it to you, then
Yeah.
yeah, that's a problem.
What it is the scooter has built-in Bluetooth. Now, most of Bluetooth, for whatever reason, Bluetooth, some of them have a password, some of them don't have a password. The ones that do, it's usually like 0000 or 1234,
Yeah, yeah.
something stupid. But you can't change it for whatever reason.
No, you can't.
And that's what it is this scooter for, I'm thinking what it is the controller for the scooter has Wi-Fi or has Bluetooth on it.
Yeah, why is there a controller for the scooter anyway?
Well, because it's electric, so it needs to have a controller for the throttle and the brake for starting and stopping. But
Ain't
instead
that
of,
like on the handle?
well, that's the thing is the computer board that they use is probably a generic of some sort that happens to have a Bluetooth transmitter receiver on it. And instead of like programming it so that that is ignored and disabled, it's enabled. And so if I get within 33 feet, line of sight with Bluetooth is about 30, between 30 and 33 feet of that cycle, I can take over it and speed it up, stop it. Could do anything with the control from my phone that has Bluetooth. And it's like, why is that even like? Why didn't you program that out, or just take the chip off? I mean, you're going to. I mean, I realize it's a cheap thing to do to begin with, to just use a generic type of board, because that's
Yeah.
the only answer I have is it has to be generic.
Yeah, I mean, if that happened to me, I will sue. I will sue the company, and I will come after you, and pretty much will win, because yeah, like George said, that should not be on it. You should be able to
No.
disable it, or take it out. Um, but now, what are you going to do? You have to take action because like we said earlier, people don't want to take action until something happens, until it's ready to be something happen to them, or they're about to lose money or customers or something for it. If something happens and then they just shrug it off. Oh yeah, yeah, okay, okay, yeah, we'll look into it until something major like this happens,
Yeah.
or someone gets hurt, or and then next you know you get a lawsuit paper coming to you. You're like, now you want to take action. Too
Yeah.
late.
Yep. Too
Too
late.
late.
And that's the thing is, and that's when I first read this and I first saw it, and I'm like, just like you're saying, why does it need Bluetooth to begin with? Well, of course it doesn't need to be there. It just happens to be there.
Yeah, it's just stupid, man.
So
Stupid error. So the company is fault, and I hope they get sued. I hope whoever discovered it sue them.
it's a Japanese manufacturer.
Oh
So
yeah,
now you're
with
dealing
that.
with international.
That's too much. Never mind.
You're done. And they don't. It's one of those companies that are. It's made in China, and they're headquartered in China, and they don't have. Like
Yeah.
they don't have a United States headquarters, so
I mean,
we're not going to touch
not
them.
saying you won't be able to win, but
Yeah,
that's just too
no,
much
you can't
hassle,
even
man.
get it to court because
That is
they're
way too much hassle.
yeah, it's ridiculous. Do you think the Chinese government's going to say, "Oh yeah, go ahead, sue the company we own," because every company in China is owned by the government?
Yeah. So no, man. That chop it up, man.
Yeah,
Chop
just
that up. Uh, U.S. company definitely sue.
yeah. Well,
But no, man. I'm sorry. That happened to you. If it did get hacked and someone got hurt or anything, I'm sorry.
and that's the thing is it shouldn't have been in there in the first place. And
Oh,
if,
it's
like I say, and they didn't even program it out to be ignored.
yeah, that's their fault.
Yeah,
And
that's
if you're in China and it happened to you, and you know what I'm saying, if it
yeah.
happened to you, sue them.
I don't know that you
I
can.
don't know how it works over there with the lawyers and all that, but I'm pretty sure you do have lawyers.
I don't
Uh,
know.
if you can sue that company, sue
Let's
that company. It might be a cousin, a relative, don't care, sue them.
Are there attorneys in China? I'm becoming a China lawyer, so I guess they do have lawyers.
Oh, sweet. So yeah, if it happened to you over in China, sue. Well, you probably can't now because I'm pretty sure they probably got notice and fixed this issue.
Well, that's the thing is if you if you sold 100 of them had this problem, unless you
Get your
have
money
a
back and sue.
well, unless you have a way of hey pushing out a firmware update, it's a scooter, so I doubt it. Um, it's not gonna I doubt they would have a way to update the firmware to it. And that's
Yeah.
to say that somebody is going to do. I mean, how many people don't never update their phones?
They're gonna have to recall all that stuff and everything.
Well, they don't care. It's and that's they're a company. No matter what it is, and this is going to sound horrible, but it's the truth. There is acceptable loss, and I'm not just talking about financially. I'm talking about something that's risky. As far as risking, if one person dies, oh well, that's okay. A few people die, that's fine. I've run into this, so yeah, it's just the way they are. Human lives, it's acceptable loss, because it didn't happen to 99.9% of the people, and it kind of it sounds cold, but that kind of makes sense. But to
Yeah.
this is just a flat out flaw. It should have been. It should be taken care of. It should be handled. It doesn't need this for this. It doesn't need to happen.
No, it don't. And if it was in the U.S., it's an easy win for court. Easy win.
Pretty much. Well, we've been on this for an hour and 13 minutes, and so I am. If it's okay with you, call it a stream. Call it a
Oh
day.
yeah.
And we will be back tomorrow for our regularly scheduled programming, where we will do another episode and we will go over what we didn't go over today, and we will have other stuff for you.
Oh yeah.
So I'm George, and this is
Jonathan, like I said, you guys can subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Gito FPA, Twitch, Twitter, all that good stuff.
If you like our stream, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Jonathan's channel. If you're watching on Twitch, what is it? Follow.
Yep.
Yep. Follow us.
Same thing as Twitter. Follow.
Yep. There's something else I was going to say. Darn it. Darn it. Our website. We still have our website up. I'm still working on it. Probably going to change some things up, but I got to work on that first before I, actually get it going to it. But we will give you further updates for that. And our website is theanythinggoes.com. Take a look. Our episodes are there. We got to work on that about page, for each of us.
Yeah.
But we will see you guys next time and the outro.
Yeah, yeah.